Hello, and welcome to the third episode of Dungeons&Dumber, an actual play Pathfinder podcast. I'm Aaron, the DM, and we have Bob, who plays Darius.
Hello.
Katie, who plays Tintal.
Hi.
Tim, who plays Woodward.
Hello.
And Vic, who plays Bartholomew.
Hey.
So, would you guys like to give me a little recap of last episode, or should I?
You should.
Okay. So you guys were able to follow the trail that the gnome you previously met, the trail that he left.
Oh, we were looking for a gnome party.
They found a gnome's treehouse, fought a kitchen, got drunk, and played PlayStation. And it is mid-afternoon, or rather early afternoon, let's say probably like 2 or 3 o'clock. And the last things that happened were Tintal was looking for a book to help learn the gnome's language, because the little gnome Hig doesn't speak common. Isaac got sick from the drinking and seems out of it, so Bartholomew was tending to him. Darius was playing with Hig, and Hig busted out a PlayStation 2. And I forget what Woodward was doing, actually.
I believe I was just tending to my weapons.
That sounds right. Anyway, so we see Bartholomew sitting with Isaac in the little room that Remetta the gnome made. And Isaac is like very pale. He's in this cold sweat and he's kind of trembling. What's Bartholomew doing?
Isaac, you sure you're okay, old man? What did you see in that vision you had from that drink before?
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
You don't sound that good.
Stop.
Who's Mr. Stark?
I'm gonna edit that out, don't worry.
Is that Barry? Barney? Larry? What was your...
Did you edit it out?
I might leave it in, actually, I don't know. Oh well.
What did I see? Do you remember the story I told you on the road?
Which story was that again?
I used to be an adventurer.
Oh, yep, I remember that one.
And my friend, my longtime childhood friend, he became corrupted by evil, and he killed everyone on our vessel, and...
Was that Barry? Or Larry? What?
I don't wish to speak his name.
Was it Barney?
Please.
Oh.
And
okay.
Anyway, I've tried to forget about that moment for 30 years. And it just all came back to me. I fear he is still alive, and who knows what he could be up to. There's a great evil that lies in him.
Oh, sometimes you gotta face your fears.
When I was a younger man, but now I'm old and frail, and I care not to experience that ever again.
Well, I sure hope we don't run into him. He doesn't sound like a very cool guy.
I assure you he is quite the opposite of cool.
Remetta walks in, and she says,
"Is he alright?"
Well, Isaac, are you alright?
I'm far from alright.
and Remetta says,
"Let me take a look at you."
and she walks over, kind of, again, not making eye contact, and she puts her hand on Isaac's forehead, and the look on her face becomes more somber, and she says,
"Oh no, he's very sick, Bartholomew."
Oh, well, what's wrong?
I know not why, but we can't leave him. I could make some medicine for him, but I don't have all the things I need, and I am weak, and the journey would be too much for me, but do you think you could take your friends and go into the woods and find a special herb for me?
A special herb in the woods? What is it?
It's used for medicine. It's powerful.
It's marijuana.
Ooh.
it's dank.
Oh my god.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
So, are you interested?
Oh, I guess so. It's the only way to save the old man's life.
And Isaac says,
Ah, yes. I mean, you do have to keep me alive for me to pay you.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna forget that.
and then Remetta says,
It's in the woods. In the place people call White Basin Vale. There's an oasis. And in that oasis, you should be able to locate the herb. It is called,
Well, if we're picking up
Kava leaf.
The
Kava
suspense is
leaf.
killing me over here.
Hemp?
kava
if we're
leaf.
picking up an herb, shouldn't we know what it
Oh, I'll
looks?
be asking the questions here.
Yes,
What does a kava leaf look like?
it's
Is it an herb or a leaf?
it's an herb called kava leaf.
Oh.
I don't necessarily agree with the nomenclature, but it has a faint blue shimmer to it. It emits light, and you can tell what it is because it has a characteristic four-leaf pattern. It almost looks like a cross. It's one of the only glowing herbs you'll find in the oasis, so once you see a little glow, you should be able to detect it rather easily.
And that's just out here in the forest? White Basin Vale?
Yes, well, it would probably be about an hour's travel on foot there and back. And then once you're there, it might take a while to find.
Well, I guess we better get started.
Rametta goes over and leaves the room, and she says, Let me get you some things that might be able to help. And then she goes back down to the kitchen, where Tintal is flipping through the plumber's manual she found on the bookcase. And she says, Are you the one that fixed all the knickknacks and plates?
Oh yes, that was me. I couldn't just leave them broken like that.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. I don't have much I can give you, but, well, I'll remember this. And if you do take Hig to the festival, and I think with that much time I should see to maybe giving you some kind of reward for this. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
And she goes into the cabinets, and well, she turns to you as she's going through a cabinet, and you notice she's also not making eye contact with you. She's kind of staring off vaguely in your direction, and she says, "Dearie, do you have any provisions for the woods? Can I maybe give you a few things to help you out and your friends?"
Well, I'm sure that a little more won't hurt.
Okay. She rummages through a cabinet, and she pulls out what looks to be a strap of leather. It's a sling. And she says, "Do you know how to use one of these?"
I'm sure I could figure it out.
Okay, well, I don't see any... Well, I didn't notice that you had any weapons on you, so it might be a good idea, because in the woods, I'm not saying it's particularly dangerous, but it's not particularly safe either. You might want to take this and hold on to it, and give one to your friend, the gnome party one. I think his name was Daryl?
Darius?
Darius, yes, that's correct. And there's a few water skins. You can fill it, and it'll hold some water for you. A few slings, as many as you need. They just use rocks you pick up as ammunition. And a machete to get through the brush. But it is rusted, and I don't have the tools to maintain it, but it should still help you.
No problem, thank you.
And here are the tools to make a fire. And she actually gives you just a little red bead. And she says, just throw it on the ground when you want to make a fire, and a campfire will appear.
Oh, awesome. How does that work?
Trade secret.
Fair enough.
And then she goes over to Woodward and says, "Did Bartholomew talk to you yet?
Oh, no, he didn't. What's going on?
Why don't you go talk to him and see?"
And so I guess I'll walk over to Bartholomew. What's going on?
Yep. Oh, Isaac's gonna die.
What? Why?
Yeah. I have no idea, but we gotta go into the forest and find some fancy plants to save his life.
Are there a lot of them? The plants?
No, apparently they're tough to find, and it's about an
Oh.
hour away to find them. So, no.
Well, how hard could it be?
Yeah,
We gotta get our pay.
you better pay us extra for this.
I hope so.
I guess we should go tell the rest of the crew.
Yep.
Why,
Don't want to waste any time.
That would be prudent. And she goes upstairs to where Darius is playing PlayStation with Hig, and she says, "Hig, come. Our guests are going to be busy soon. We mustn't occupy them. You'll have more time to play that later."
Right, Darius is there. The whole time I'm just captivated by the game that Hig is playing. Seeing the rows of adoring fans as the snowboarders are going downhill. I'm scratching my chin thinking, I need to get aboard. And if I find the highest mountain I can find, everybody's going to love it. And so I'm thinking to myself, if I get to town, I'm just going to get some carpenter to carve together a snowboard for me. But hearing that everybody's downstairs preparing for something, I'll make my way down there.
All right, so you're all in the kitchen, and
I love the kitchen.
and you're sitting, I guess, around the table, or you're standing around the table, and Darius walks in.
So what's going on? I heard you guys are getting ready for a trip.
All right, we gotta go into the forest, find an herb to save Isaac's life, so we can get paid. We gotta go now, so he doesn't die.
Here, Darius, I have an extra sling for you.
Sling? Sure.
It's like a slingshot. You just pick up rocks and you can hit people with the rocks.
Sure, I'll mess around with it. Thanks.
I bet
And
even
everybody-
the monkey could figure out how to use that.
I bet the monkey would love to figure out how to use that.
Can I give this thing to Laszlo?
Absolutely.
Laszlo will take it. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna stick to my short bow because I know how to use it, but I want to see that monkey shoot some rocks, and I'll pass the sling to Laszlo.
He just has to train, you know.
We'll figure it out.
And then, so Hig comes running downstairs and then continues running out another room, and Remetta behind him. And she says, "We are in the Fletcher Woods now, and you're going to need to travel southeast to get to the Vale. Do you guys have someone who can navigate?"
I'm not bad with navigation.
All right. So, do you have a compass?
Of course, I have a compass.
All right. Well then, let's not dilly-dally. Your friend is fading. I do not know how much time he has left. And so she leads you back to the gateway, and you all have that sinking feeling like you're going down a roller coaster during a steep drop as you step out one by one and shoot up to your normal sizes.
Ah, that feels better.
Does this mean all our alcohol grows back to normal size too?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. All right, shall we head out?
Sure, I'm ready. By the way, everybody, here's a water skin in case you need.
Oh, thanks.
So, since you're navigating, Woodward, why don't you roll me a survival check to lead the party through the woods?
Sure.
And anyone else with survival, you can also do the same thing.
That's a solid no for me.
Yeah, I got
Ah.
a 0.
Ow.
Oh no.
I got a 6.
Do you guys want to roll anyway?
I guess so.
I guess we will.
Survival check, right?
Yes.
I am shitty at surviving.
Nope.
I do have the survival kit. I guess that
I
didn't
got a
help
7.
Ooh, I got a
Skin
15.
tall.
me. Ooh, even with the -1.
All right.
Heck.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Whoa,
Turns
Darius!
out I'm good at surviving.
You were holding out on us.
It's just like complete blind faith in everything.
It's,
Yeah, like, just like everything else in my life, like, if something goes wrong, it'll get fixed for me. Don't worry about it.
All right. So Woodward must have lost his bearings upon shooting back up to size and starts walking towards the campground. But both Tintal and Darius are acutely aware that this is the wrong direction.
That's embarrassing for me.
Let's say your compass was like the needle was spinning like crazy. The tree, with its weird size magic,
The magnetism.
has some weird magnetic effect, and so your compass was malfunctioning a little bit.
Stupid gnomes. I should have arm wrestled her.
She's an old lady.
Yeah, so I would have won.
Anyway,
It's so rude.
so as you're walking, you find some trail markers that look like a blue diamond, and they seem to be going in the direction that you want to be going. You are able to follow the trail pretty well. For a short period of time, you kind of lose your bearings, but then you find a small stream, and rolling a perception check.
All right.
14.
I'm not very perceptive. Ooh.
3. Curse you, Vic!
Damn it. 4.
All right. Tintal, you're captivated by the beauty of this forest. It seems that it's just so lush it reminds you of home. Darius, you see a small ladybug on your shoulder. It just flits down and starts fluttering around you. It doesn't seem to be scared of you.
Sure, I'll reach out my hand and try to pick it up on my finger and watch it as it climbs up and flies away.
Yeah, you do just that. And you're kind of taken aback by the forest and don't notice. But Woodward, with your 14, you see that deeper in the stream seems to be something glinting. It
Ooh.
seems to be a body kind of
I was
trapped
hoping it would be gold.
trapped below some rocks, but you still see a glint.
I hope he has gold in his pocket. Alright, so I'm going to call out to the other guys. It's like, hey, there's this weird body over here. Let's pull it out and see what we can find.
Where is it?
He's right there in the stream. Look closer.
Oh, geez, does the stream look rough, or does it look safe to just go in there and...
It looks
Pull it out.
actually fairly rough.
Well, Woodward, are you good at swimming?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at swimming. I'm actually really good at swimming. That's one of my best talents.
Alright, we can go down there. I'm not a great swimmer, but I can try and support you if you want to try and pull the body up.
Yeah, so how about I'll try to swim out there and see if I can drag it closer, and you could stay just as far as you can stand on the side.
Okay.
So you notice as you get closer that the stream is probably about waist deep, going to chest deep at the deepest part of it where the body is. The body is propped up on this rock and this root system that seems to have caught its arm as it was drifting through. And you notice that there's actually a pretty big tree with a branch that looms over and some roots that stick out that you would probably be able to like hold on to if Bartholomew's going to hold on to Woodward as you do this.
Alright, so
Alright.
I'll hold on to the tree and hold on to you, and then you'll swim
Yeah.
out and grab him?
Yeah. Right.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, so make me a swim check, and you can add another +2 to whatever you normally have because Bartholomew is helping you stabilize.
Alright, that's going to make it a +8.
Oh shit.
I rolled a
Nice.
23.
Yeah, with the 23, this is like child's play to you. So you get all the way to this body. Are you pulling it all the way back to shore? Or, like, what do you want to do with this?
Yeah, so Bartholomew is like standing close to shore, and so I'll bring it to him, and then once I'm to him, then we'll both bring it all the way to the shore.
Yeah, we could both pull it back.
Alright, so roll me a strength check just to make sure that you don't lose grasp of this. It's one thing to swim, but it's another to swim while pulling something about as heavy as you are.
Right. I rolled a 14.
Yeah, and with that, you're able to get back pretty safely with this body in tow. And as you both pull it out, it seems to be a long, desiccated corpse. Barely more than a skeleton. There's some bits of rotting flesh on it. And it has this rotted out helmet that looks like it's just a bowl shape. And you notice this kind of intricately designed cloth jacket that he's wearing. What was glinting that you saw was actually a golden tooth. And
Ooh.
yeah.
Huh.
I'm just gonna assume you're gonna like rifle through whatever.
Right.
Well, we gotta pull the tooth out.
Well, let's check his pockets first and see if there's anything before we do the dirty business with this guy's tooth.
Okay.
You find a leather square-shaped thing that folds out and reveals some coins and some rotten pieces of parchment.
How many coins are there exactly? Like the
There's-
value.
There's like 7 or 8 coins, but they're not the currency that you know. They're not gold.
Ah.
They don't look like standard silver coins either, but you can tell that underneath the rust there's some kind of like silvery colored metal.
Okay, so it's foreign money, basically.
There's also a golden ring that seems to have been protected from the decay that the rest of the body has faced.
Is there anything special about this golden ring?
You don't notice any obvious things. There's no gemstone in it. There's no engraving on it. It just looks like a golden ring.
Can I attempt to appraise it?
Absolutely.
I could check it for magic, I think.
You could definitely attempt that.
Got a 19 on my appraisal.
Oh,
That's
this is
impressive.
a really sweet ring. It's probably worth 100 gold by itself.
Oh snap, guys! This is worth a lot.
I'll have to make sure to sell my stuff to someone less smart than you.
If I was gonna check and see if it was magic, would I be doing use magic device or detect magic?
Detect magic is a spell, and that's a
Yeah, I
cantrip,
know.
so you can just do that.
So can I just do that?
You detect that it has a magic aura coming off of it.
Ooh.
I have Identify at first level. I'd like to cast it on this item.
Okay, so let me just pull up Identify. I think it gives you a big bonus to identifying. This spell functions as detect magic, except that it gives you a plus 10 bonus on spellcraft checks made to identify the properties. So go ahead and make me a spellcraft with that.
Okay, so that would be 19.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty sweet ring. You can tell, judging by everything on it and the aura coming off of it, that it is a ring of protection plus 1. When you wear it, you are surrounded by this very slight magical barrier that alters the course of arrows flying at you to narrowly miss, or swords just kind of alters the sweep of their path. So it effectively gives the wearer a plus 1 deflection bonus to their armor class.
Sure, and I'll tell the rest of the party what it does.
Thanks for sharing.
All right, who gets dibs on this?
I will let you all decide that.
I don't really want it personally, but I think that Bartholomew should have second dibs on it because he helped me pull the body out of the water.
Oh, sure, I'll take it.
In exchange, I get the coins, though.
Oh, all right, you can have the foreign money. You can keep his tooth too if you want.
Ah, thank you. I will keep that.
Alright, now how are you going to take the tooth out?
Punch him in the face.
Considering
Yeah,
he's been in water for a long time, you could probably just pull.
I like the idea of trying to punch him, though, first, though. So I want to punch him.
Okay.
You guys don't even know who this dead guy is. It's so mean.
Doesn't matter, he's
He
dead.
won't feel it.
He doesn't
Yeah,
die anymore.
It's just like, I want to get this done fast.
What kind of a jerk makes his tooth out of gold?
A rich jerk.
Exactly. No, we punch rich people here.
Not a bad train of thought.
Alright, so I guess roll me an attack roll? A melee attack roll against a inanimate object.
It is not an object.
I mean, a lifeless
Stop
body.
objectifying this man.
I mean, he doesn't have a soul. Well, I guess that's not true.
I want to say, in the transition from being alive to becoming a
Ah.
corpse, you
I rolled
become...
a 6.
You become an object, yeah.
Yeah. It's a non-moving object. With the 6, you hit it. You just need to roll a 5.
Okay, that's good. He wasn't a very strong dead body.
Oh, you gotta roll me damage. So roll me a d3 plus your strength.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. 5.
Oh yeah, as Tintal pointed out, this body has been decaying for a very long time. So when you punch it, I guess in the jaw,
Yeah.
the whole head comes off. It just tumbles off. The teeth kind of fall out, and you get the gold tooth.
Perfect. That worked out.
Bartholomew, would you like to appraise it? Or anyone, really, you could appraise this.
I think we
I'll
should
give
go-
it
I think we
another
should
go.
depend on the expert.
I'm not really an expert, but I'll give it a shot. Another 19.
You're an expert.
I hate you.
Sure seemed like an expert.
Yeah, it's a replacement tooth, probably worth 30 gold for the craftsmanship put into it. But you would think the amount you'd pay to get it put in would probably be 100 gold, including the cost of the tooth itself. So it's 30 gold, unless you wanted to
Dude,
try becoming a dentist.
Dent it.
Couldn't you
Make
just
30
melt
big
it?
ones.
You could melt it, but actually, because it's only the size of a tooth, it would probably only be worth 1 gold after melting.
Yeah, I'll just
That makes no sense, but okay.
I'll hold on to it until I can sell it to somebody.
Well, it's just a tiny little bit of gold, probably about the size of a single coin.
Well,
Yeah, you're
so
going to
just
want to
get
sell
it.
that.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna sell it when I get the chance.
So anyway, you continue on. Who wants to lead at this point? Let's just have one person who's leading roll a survival check.
So we're all gonna roll for survival again.
No, just one person. Who wants to be our leader? Because I don't want to be.
I'll try it
I
again.
have a -1 in survival, so
I have a +2, so I rolled a 21.
Holy
Hey.
shit, high rolls.
He's our leader.
You're using all your good rolls. Okay.
Hey, I had a lame roll before for survival, so
All right. So you continue on and you find the oasis without much trouble, but actually, because of your keen eye, you find a few cool things on the way. So the first
Awesome.
thing you find, you see a deer, and it seems docile, like it's just munching on some plants and stuff, just having a good time. And you're far away enough that you've kind of noticed this deer here, and yeah.
wow, that's so awesome.
All right, who's gonna try and ride the deer?
Why
I
would
think
we
we
want
should
to
try
ride
to kill
the
it.
deer?
For
Why
no
would we kill the
reason.
deer?
I've got a +4 to handle animal.
+2.
I guess I'll just like get a big bundle of grass and just start walking up and go, come here, come here.
Okay, roll me that handle animal.
And then if that doesn't work, then shoot it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
No.
Even if you tame it, we can eat it later. So
You've got an 11.
Okay.
Let's calm down, guys.
So with an 11, you kind of get close enough for it to stop munching on the grass, and it just kind of looks at you inquisitively. It looks at the grass you have in your hand, but you get the sense that it doesn't trust you. It hasn't run off yet, but you're kind of at a standstill with it.
All right, is this just like a special deer, or is this just like a normal looking deer?
Why don't you roll me a perception for that?
18.
It's a young deer. It is a doe. It
A
is
baby.
doesn't appear to be magic or anything. I assume that when you are inspecting stuff, you're just going to also try and detect magic.
You would be correct.
Yeah. It looks like just a standard deer. It probably doesn't pose much of a threat.
But if it's young, it's too small to ride, so we can't ride the deer.
the kid,
Maybe Laszlo
little
can
kid
ride the
could.
deer.
Laszlo could ride the deer. Let's put the monkey on the deer.
Laszlo's going to approach the deer.
Okay,
With the grass in my hand, I'll be like, he's a friend. Don't worry about it.
alright.
Laszlo's going to offer a handshake to the deer.
So, as Laszlo gets up close, why don't you roll a handle animal?
Laszlo's going to handle animal.
That sounds like the most appropriate skill in the game to use for this.
18. I got a perfect 20.
Oh my god, you got a 20. Wait, don't
got a
familiars inherit the master's skills?
They do?
I think that was part of it.
That'd be useful.
But either way,
Wait.
an 18 is more than enough to succeed. You get the idea that this deer was intimidated at the size of Darius before, but Laszlo gets up close and offers a handshake, and the deer just kind of tilts its head to the side.
Alright, Laszlo tried. He couldn't do anything.
All right, so
Seems like
what are
the
we
deer's
doing with this?
capable.
What are we doing with this deer then?
I feel we should move on and ignore the deer. Because what if its parents come by and start kicking our asses?
What deer do you know? Just charge people down and kick their ass.
What deer
don't
do
know,
you
we're-
know in general? You have a lot of deer friends.
Oh,
Woodward
shit.
wants to eat that deer's child, so
It probably tastes good.
yeah, the parents are probably not happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would know that you can get venison at restaurants and stuff on the island.
Yeah, but that costs money. Whatever. I don't mind ignoring the deer.
I don't actually care. That's fine.
Yeah, Laszlo couldn't tame the deer, so I think we should move on.
Well, I don't know that it was that Laszlo couldn't, but that it didn't understand what a handshake was.
Well, Laszlo also doesn't have any idea how to do it, so just hit a stalemate in that area.
That's fair. Darius, do you have any interest in the deer, or are you going to move on with everyone?
Me and our buddy's dying. Let's go find that leaf.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah, I
totally
almost
forgot
forgot.
about that.
Yeah.
All right. And so the second thing you find, you see a tree that has a bunch of little truffle mushrooms growing around it, and you know that they're quite tasty.
Alright, I'll pick some, and now I'll have a bag of shrooms.
All right,
Oh, really
roll me a survival just to determine how good you are at harvesting mushrooms, how many would break or whatever.
I'll eat the broken ones.
Not my finest moment.
All right,
Oh,
with
you broke all the mushrooms.
with the 5, you accidentally trample a bunch of them. You get a couple handfuls, but They look kind of janky, but
Guys,
Woodward
they-
pops one in his mouth. It tastes good.
Yeah, they came in this bad condition. Not my fault.
Hey, they don't have anything like this on the ocean.
And the third thing you find along the way to the oasis is you find a little bush with these red berries on it, and they look quite juicy.
All right, I've heard never to trust berries.
Yeah, especially red berries. They could be good or bad.
Yeah, Barry's an asshole. I wouldn't trust him
Oh,
either.
I do have
Very.
Screw you, Aaron.
my Masterwork survival kit includes a guide for stuff like this, I believe.
Darius, as a person on this island who has been here for a while, you recognize that these are raspberries.
Sure. I'll grab a handful and eat them and say, these are good to eat. They're not bad.
Oh no, he's gonna die.
Darius, no!
And as you eat one, you feel yourself,
Dying?
no, quite the opposite.
He
You
drops
feel-
dead on the scene.
You're dead. No, you've failed Dungeons and Dragons. No, you feel reinvigorated a little bit.
Hey, these taste great.
For a future reference, I do have the survival kit does give me an extra +2 bonus on survival checks for like things about nature.
All right, I was gonna say you could probably just apply that +2 to any survival roll.
Okay.
I'll have some berries.
You too feel a little reinvigorated. Any of the weariness that you had from that kitchen fight and traveling through the woods, you feel all the stress of that just melt away. Any like muscle tension you had just becomes relaxed. And let's say, to put a mechanical benefit on this, you gain a temporary hit point.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Are there any more of those?
Oh yeah, there's a whole bush full.
I don't
Sure,
see
I'll
why not.
I'll clear them out and do my best not to stick my fingers on the thorns.
All right, roll me a survival just to determine how much you're able to get.
Okay. 7.
Oh,
All right, so I'll say that you get straight up 7 berries, not including the ones that were eaten already. So you got 7 more berries.
Sweet.
all right, I'll eat a couple.
You're just gonna steal them from Darius's hand?
Yes.
I will ask for a couple.
Sure, I'll give 4 to Bartholomew and 3 to Woodward.
And I'll share mine with Laszlo.
All right, you all get the benefit of 1 temporary hit point, and you feel great.
Awesome.
And right as you get up to what appears to be the valley, make me one last perception check.
13.
All right.
11.
I got an 11.
All right. You see kind of a rusted piece of metal with a smaller piece of metal on top of it.
Wait, just in the middle of the forest?
Yeah, it's kind of off a few feet from a dirt path that has you found along the way.
Does it have any more identifying features, or it's just 2 pieces of welded metal?
Well, I'll say that you're kind of far from it, and you notice it from a distance.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to approach it and check it out.
I'll go with him.
All right. As soon as you get, let's say 10 feet away, you notice some whirring and buzzing noises, and you notice that the smaller piece of metal on top is turning, and you see a single circle on it that appears to be like an eye, and as you approach, it says,
Preventative maintenance overdue. Please schedule for service.
Preventative maintenance. What? I don't know what that is.
I cast mending on the metal thing.
as you cast mending, you notice the rust starts to fall away, and I'll just say you repeatedly cast it until it appears to be kind of cleaned off. Is that a reasonable assumption?
Yes.
And you're not under any duress, so there's no need to like roll for anything. So once you clean all the metal off, it appears to be almost like the torso of a breastplate, and a helmet, but it's not just a helmet, it's an entire head. And it says,
Wayfinder not found. Please present identification papers.
Uh-oh.
Failure to present proper identification detected.
Dang it.
You are under arrest. Lay down your weapons.
nothing happens. It doesn't have any arms or legs. It's just like this immobile thing except for the head. And it's gonna roll an intimidate against you.
Awesome. I'm certainly confused. God damn it, Aaron.
And
Wow,
with the
scary-
17, you kind of
fun.
feel...
It's scary.
You've never seen anything like this ever. And this thing is talking at you, and it just threatened to arrest you. And so you guys are very well caught off guard. Does anyone else, like, what are you guys thinking about this?
Thinking, wow, that thing's using some pretty big words.
I'm just trying to figure out what the heck it is.
I kind of kept my distance, and I'm just watching carefully what happened.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near the action.
As you're kind of like panicking, Tintal, it says,
Stop resisting. I'm authorized to use lethal force.
Can I try to bluff the armor and just say, I'm the Baron on this island. Like, don't you recognize who I am? I'm very important. Lots of people give me things for free. No, how dare you talk to me like that?
yeah, roll me a bluff.
I got a 13 with a plus 9.
It says,
Username not detected. Stop resisting. Vaporization commencing.
That's rough.
like, nothing's happening, and then it starts saying,
Error. 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 Error.
and it just starts
Error.
repeating that over and over again.
Error.
Well, that's annoying. Alright. I'm not necessarily gonna do this, but I have half a mind to just cast Magic Missile and, like, just nuke it.
All right,
That sounds fun.
if you want to do
All right,
that,
let's
by
do
all
that.
means.
I guess let's do that, because it doesn't seem to have any real...
Wait. Actually.
Alright, waiting.
Check the compartments.
Oh, you think there's something in it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it
obvious
does...
pockets. It kind of
Do
looks
you
like a
wanna push that
person.
thing?
Well, wouldn't it make more sense to break it, then?
Oh, but if it has gold in it, then you're gonna destroy the gold.
You would know that a magic missile wouldn't, like, even... It wouldn't
not
have the
gonna
strength to
vaporize
destroy
it.
something. It's like a force effect, so it would be like a really hard punch.
It's not gonna, like, vaporize it into thin air. It's just gonna open it up, if anything.
Okay. Well,
Can I try to mage hand the head off?
You can try, but it would appear that Mage Hand doesn't have the strength necessary as you try and kind of yank the head free from it at a distance.
Okay.
That's annoying. I'm fed up. Let's Magic Missile the bitch.
All right, roll me a D4 plus 1 damage.
A 2.
Nice roll.
All right.
Amazing.
The cool thing about force damage is it ignores objects' hardness, so it's actually more effective than just trying to hit something in terms of like breaking an object or whatever. And your missile hits it right in the circle that you would assume to be its eye, and its head kind of recoils back and then comes back to its resting position, and it says,
Optical sensors offline.
it kind of makes this electrical and mechanical whirring noise even louder and louder and louder, and it sounds like something cracks inside it, and then it says,
Register new user.
Tintal.
Access granted.
Ooh, sweet.
Battle android. Ready.
Alright, now I've got a battle android. Is there a way to figure out how this thing works? Now that I've attacked it and it...
First, what is that thing?
Yeah, honestly.
Running diagnostics check. Optical sensors offline. Weapon systems offline. Legs disconnected. Solar engine operational. Life detector operational. Core functionality at 3%.
3 what?
I think someone's gonna have to carry that thing if we're gonna keep it.
No, I don't think there's a reason to keep it. I was just curious. Is there anything else we want to investigate before I nuke it the rest of the way?
I'm gonna try and pick it up.
this thing is much lighter than it appears. It's also just a torso and a head. There's no extra limbs or anything. It's only about, like, 30 pounds.
Oh, only 30 pounds. Thank God.
Well, it appears to be a big chunk of metal.
See if we can find its legs, then it can.
But
As
who
you pick
knows
it
where
up-
this thing has been?
As you pick it
Right.
up, it says,
Unauthorized. Unauthorized. Tintall awaiting orders. Do I vaporize this meat bag?
Yo, don't let him do that.
No.
Standing down.
This guy is saying some weird stuff. Or, not the guy, I guess.
Can I approach it and just go like, Alexa, where is Kava Leaf?
Alexa, play Despacito.
Username not recognized.
Wait, Pintal, can you try to ask it? It seems to listen to you when you talk.
Locate Kava Leaf.
Kava leaf. A medicinal herb.
What is it, the Pokedex?
it doesn't,
Okay.
it doesn't say anything beyond that.
Show information related to Kava Leaf. I don't know how else to.
Kava leaf. A medicinal herb.
I don't know if it'll be able to tell us more than that.
I guess maybe we gotta show it a Kava leaf first.
Maybe we can ask it what it can do.
Alright. What can you do?
Battle droid. Function list. Attack. Hold. Patrol.
Doesn't
I
look
think-
like it's in any shape to attack. Or
We
patrol.
need to find its body parts.
I don't. I mean, we could certainly just leave it and look, but
I mean,
I don't see the point in keeping this thing around.
it's not too heavy. I'll carry it.
Really? Alright. Suit yourself.
It might not be heavy, but it's awfully bulky.
Well, if anything happens, I'll drop it.
Alright, that's fair. It's up to you guys.
As long as it doesn't talk the whole way.
Yeah,
Hey, maybe we could sell it for something.
probably.
I'll appraise it.
Yeah, let's see how much it's worth.
I don't know
The
what.
currency is going to be in like bitcoins or something.
It doesn't say anything, but Bartholomew, you get the idea this would be worth quite a bit. You've never seen anything like this, and the metal it's made of seems both sturdy and incredibly lightweight, which you assume would make it worth more, but you're unable to get like a gold coin estimate. You would assume the entire repaired thing would be worth a ton, but as it is now, probably a collector might buy it for like a few hundred.
Guys, I got a good feeling about this thing. We need to find some limbs.
I was gonna say, do you guys want to search the area and see if we can find any parts?
Might as well.
Yes.
Sure, can I use a cantrip sift to see if I can find a pair of metal pants around?
Want to read the spell description?
Sure thing. You examine an area at range as if you were searching for fine details with a perception skill. Make a perception check with -5 penalty, modified as normal for conditions. No penalty is applied for distance. Apply the result against the DC for any hidden features, such as secret doors, traps, or hidden treasure. You must be able to see the area you are attempting to search, and you only find details that can be perceived with sight or touch. Sift detects only objects and features, not actual creatures.
Okay, so yeah, with that, let's just say it's almost like if you hone in on this type of metal and it's like a metal detector in spell form, and roll me a perception to comb the area. And everyone else who's looking around can also assist in this.
I got a 9, rough 9.
Perception, you said, right?
Yeah.
21, baby.
11.
9.
So with Darius's 9, you're looking around, and wow, you can't believe it. It's that same ladybug you saw before on your shoulder. It's a cute little guy.
Sweet. I think this bug likes me.
It's pretty lucky.
Woodward, you with your 11, like you see a branch that looks like it could be in the shape of an arm, but it's just a tree branch.
Yarr.
Tall with your 9, you're looking around. You don't find anything like that would be part of this battle droid, but you do see a very pretty flower. It's blue.
Oh, I love blue flowers.
And Bartholomew, with your 21, I'll say you and Laszlo are both searching together. And about 20 feet away, you see a little crater, and lodged in the ground, sticking out of the ground, you find a cylindrical piece of metal, looks to be like 1.5 feet long, but it's covered in rust.
Guys, I found it.
Found what?
Ooh,
I don't know.
that's alright. I'll cast mending on it.
Yes.
Alright, so you run
I got
over and cast mending. As you're doing it, you feel something like within you. It seems like you develop this mental connection with the robot for just a brief second. And the metal leg that was lodged into the ground, now that it's cleaned off of rust and everything, you can tell that this appears to be a leg with a knee joint.
Does it look like it would be easy to attach?
It does not look easy to attach. You see a bunch of frayed little wires, and you would assume that you wouldn't be able to stick it on.
Okay, well, we can still kind of bring them close to each other. Do you guys want to keep looking for other parts? Maybe roll another.
Sure, I'll keep looking around, but then I'll see the leg and all the wires poking off of it, and then I'll remember Hig with the PlayStation 2 and what he was able to do with it, and I'm wondering if Hig would know what to do with the leg.
Alright, who wants to carry the leg then?
I'll take it.
The leg's probably like 4 pounds. Not heavy. You could probably just stick it right in your pack.
My leg.
But so why don't, Tintal, since you mentioned wanting to repair the robot, why don't you roll me a knowledge engineering?
Surely. 11.
With an 11, you were just overwhelmed at how alien this seems to anything else in terms of like engineering and technology that you've ever witnessed before. It is a bona fide technological marvel, and you would not trust yourself trying to repair it. Although you get the idea that you might be able to, if you had some materials and a lot of time, you might be able to fashion like makeshift limbs that kind of resemble the leg in like basic structure. You wouldn't know how to make the wires though.
Okay.
So you guys mentioned that you want to keep searching, and so I'll just bring up a little rule about Pathfinder. In a situation where you are not under duress or time constraints, you can do these actions called taking a 10 or taking a 20. And what they represent is that your dude just repeats the same task enough times to basically guarantee the same result a 20 or a 10 would give you. And the drawback of that is taking a 10 takes 10 times the length of just trying to do it quickly, and same with 20. Taking a 20 will turn it into 20 times the duration to look around.
Oh, we shouldn't take too long.
I was going to say, we still have to worry about Isaac. And who knows how long it's going to take to find this plant.
Wait, that plant is blue and you just saw a pretty flower.
But wasn't it glowing?
Yes.
Alright, I can show you where the flower is. It's only right over here.
Was that blue flower shimmering with the 4 leaves that look like a cross?
Bartholomew, you had the robot in your back, in your pack, right?
I was just holding on to it.
Oh, you're just... Okay. You look down at it, and you just hear the words,
Cornflower detected.
Cornflower. Darn, we don't want a cornflower.
I like corn though.
This
It's
thing can
pretty.
can help us track this flower though.
Oh yeah, I guess if we find it and we find any flower and we show it to the robot or whatever, they'll tell us what it is.
Yeah. Wait, Tintal, since this robot's like your best friend, you should probably carry it now. I'll
Yeah,
hand
sure.
it over. Here you go.
He should have a name.
Oh gosh, I'm not naming this thing. Go right ahead, though.
Let's name it Barry and make Isaac angry.
That doesn't sound like a good idea. That sounds cruel.
Yeah, okay, don't do that.
What about Larry?
Ooh,
Is that too close?
he won't notice. He's old.
Yeah.
Okay, Larry. Alright, so we've got Larry. I'm holding on to him.
Custom name acquired. Larry.
Hey,
Alright.
Alright, let's just take a 10 maybe so we don't take too long and we can get back to searching for the flower.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm clear on how long exactly we're taking. Like, I understand it's 10 times the length, but, like, is this
So-
going to take, like, 10 minutes, half an hour?
So perception can be broken down into several like sub skills, where there's like spot, where you're just at a glance looking around to see what you spot, and that is the length of a single round of combat. So that would be 6 seconds. But when you're searching specifically to find something, it would take a minute per 5 foot square. So if you were searching like lightly, like looking around, I would say it would be kind of a combination of spot and searching. And search would be like if you're digging under the ground to try and find something, and spot would just be looking on the surface of the ground.
I mean, I would think that we're just, based on what we've found so far, we'd just be kind of looking in the grass and seeing if there's anything like, you know, metal very obviously doesn't belong poking out. I feel like we could do with just rolling one more time and then moving on.
Yeah. I don't want to waste too much time.
Yeah, and I think taking a 10 even might be too much.
Alright, so you want to look around one more time?
Yep.
Yeah, but if everybody else agrees, we'll just roll.
Yeah, I'll
That's
give it
fine.
one more roll. Oh.
I got a 13.
I got a 20.
Oh,
Alright.
that's fitting because it's your machine.
Ooh.
And Darius got a 20.
Oh,
No
All right.
ladybug this time.
With your 20s, you notice, Darius, what looks like a small metal triangle sticking out of the ground. And Tintal, let's say you're trying to like pick up on pieces of it, since you had a like minor psychic event before with this thing, so you're trying to like channel that again. And it feels like the ground underneath you contains something, but you'd probably have to dig to get it.
Can I feel how big this something is, or is it just like a general feeling?
It is small. It's probably, it's smaller than even the lake was.
Oh, okay. And I can't necessarily pinpoint where it is. I'm just kind of feeling that it's in this general area.
Yeah, you'd be able to know exactly where to dig, but it's underground, like a foot or two.
What do you guys think? Do you want to keep going, or should I try and dig for it?
who has a shovel? Or strong hands?
Neither. I have neither of those things. I don't want to get my hands dirty.
Woodward, why don't you roll me a survival, speaking about digging and stuff?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I'd be willing to give it a shot.
I just rolled a 19.
Alright, never mind.
So you notice that
Looks like you got it.
this ground underneath you is quite soft, and your survival kit would have like a small gardener's shovel.
Ah, yeah, I forgot I had that line in there. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, dig.
Alright, well, it should be right underneath here, so...
Roll me a d10 to see how many minutes this takes.
Who? Me or Tim?
Tim, since he's doing the digging.
Gotcha.
4.
So yeah, you retrieve it after only a little bit.
So what were these two parts we found?
So you see what looks like a metallic hand reaching up out of this hole you've dug.
Alright, Laszlo, it's your time to shine.
What do you want Laszlo to do?
Give him a handshake.
Oh, snap.
Oh shit.
Laszlo, he's going to hold on to the hand.
Alright. The ground here is not very packed in, so with a little bit of tugging, it gives way and the hand comes out.
Is this hand attached to an arm, or is it just the hand part?
It is just a hand.
Awesome.
And what was the other part that Darius found?
So as he looks at it, most of it is still to be unearthed, but there's a little corner of it that looks like it's just sticking out. You caught the glint of like the sun glaring off of it.
I'm gonna try to pull it out.
Alright, yeah, it also is quite easily excavated, and it is about a foot by a foot, and it's very thin. There's a little metal cylinder protruding from underneath, and it has legs too. Not like mechanical legs, but like a music stand would have legs.
Do I turn it over and see like a logo of an apple on the other side?
No, you see a logo of a pineapple.
Okay. Guys, I think this is like some kind of fruit platter. There's a fruit on it. I think it's for serving apples.
Can you eat it?
Can I eat it, DM?
I mean, it's still kind of rusty. You would
Ew.
probably not want to put that in your mouth.
Gross.
It looks too hard to chew.
It's unfortunate.
Alright. I guess I'll clean up these pieces too.
So the hand, you clean it off, and you see all these little like motors where the finger joints would be, and it too has some like frayed wires and stuff sticking out of the bottom of it.
So it doesn't have any fingers attached.
Oh no, it's a full hand with fingers. The motors are where its knuckles are. It just looks extremely intricately designed.
It's always nice to
Oh,
have
okay.
a full hand.
But yeah, about where its wrist would be is where it seems to have been severed.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, now that we have these parts, we should move on and try and find that flower.
And
Yeah, do we have any way of coming back to this place? Because I have a funny feeling that there's probably more parts scattered around.
absolutely. I mean, this stuff has been lying here for who knows how long, so you don't think anyone's going to disturb this anytime soon.
But can we like mark it on a map or something so we can know where it is?
Oh yeah, I mean, you could definitely even take just a mental note of it, since you know it's around the valley, and you're on a dirt path with the Blue
Alright,
Diamond
cool.
Trail.
Cool.
And so you do mending on Darius's thing that he found, and the legs, you notice once the rust is all off, you can like fold it up into a pretty compact thing or stand it up, and then as you're interacting with it, the robot says,
Solar array detected.
What?
I don't know what either of those words mean.
What did you call me?
I think he just insulted you.
Watch your mouth, Larry.
since you
You're a
asked,
solar array.
why don't you wait, say that again, sorry.
You're a solar array.
Nice. Why don't Darius, since you asked what it called you, roll me a linguistics.
All right. Got a 7.
This thing just fucking was talking shit to you, man.
It's fucked up.
Just got burned by a dead robot.
And-
All you gotta control your friend.
Sorry, I think I might be a little confused. Is this the piece that Darius is holding, or is this Larry?
It's Larry.
Oh, Larry saying shit? Larry, stop talking shit.
Powering down.
Awesome. Okay.
Finally.
No, we need him awake.
Why? He's just gonna.
But why?
Tell us the flower.
We can turn him on if
Connected
we
to
need.
True. Yeah.
Or
I
powering
guess so.
on.
Powering on. Ready for orders.
Wow, this thing's annoying. This is why we just.
It's a
just
very
have, like,
good listener.
You know, we have actual workers on the boat. They don't do weird stuff like this.
He's gonna start taking their jobs.
he's-
Larry better not take anybody's job.
Oh my gosh. Alright, let's keep moving, guys.
Yeah, let's go find that flower before Isaac dies.
I keep forgetting about that guy.
Remember, he owes us money.
That's a very good point.
Now you won't forget. Oh yeah.